It's a nice restaurant called the something. Nice restaurant. Take the aerial tramway up there. You can look down from the top of the mountain and see it over there. It's like a little chalet kind of looking thing on the side of the mountain.
That's awesome. That's so fucking
It's the aerial tramway.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's what you think it is. It's probably the tramway on this timeline. But what is it, you know, fucking 400 timelines away from this? You know what I'm saying?
And there's like some.
And that's my problem. That's why I can't hang out at that fucking bar.
There's some dumb little kid that was, you know, because part of it was cool, like the people who homesteaded up in the monument, you know.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome, like up there by Keys, where the Keys, up there by the lake and the Dan Barker Dam.
Hiding.
People that were up there like homesteading, that's where they lived. You know?
Who knows why? I know some possibilities.
Kid, like Smitty. They call him Smitty. His name was Smith or something. The kid's name, I forget what his name was. But he went and visited his cousin down in Van Nuys or something. And his kid, like, his cousin, this is like 1942. The cousin, like, had been watching some World War II something or other, and he thought he knew how to make an incendiary bomb. So showed this kid how to make an incendiary bomb. So he comes back up to the monument, is living up there on the ranch, and he makes like an incendiary bomb.
Out of what?
They didn't go into it, but he learned from his cousin down there. He
Piss and ash?
Whatever it was, there's probably some flammable material in there.
What's that guy? Fox or whatever.
Yeah,
Guy Fawkes style.
Well, they're at the kitchen
or just
table.
Old history. Didn't they used to, like, you know, raid the piss joints of churches and shit, right?
Well, this is a little kid. He's like 12 or something, and he was. I didn't expect this kind of shit. Kid makes the bomb, and his buddy, like, gets a match and lights it and throws it to him, and he catches it and it explodes and he gets burned to a crisp up there on the Keys Ranch.
Nice.
It was like really all of a sudden, this lady was telling this like sweet story about coming out here, and the next minute she's recounting about how her son like burned himself up with a bomb that he made.
How was your son?
And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Nothing changes up here. It's the same fucking people. I mean, literally the same people.
Wow.
And then the guy who ran the first bar, you would like him. He reminded me of you. Maybe it was you, Major Huber. His name is Major Huber, but he's not like a major. Is not his rank. Major is his first name. His name is Major Huber.
No, he's not like in the military.
No, I thought he was Major Huber, but his name is
But
Major
he's a fascist nonetheless, right?
He has an interesting way of writing. He reminded me of you.
Oh, he's a writer.
He's a writer, and then what did he do? He ended up getting some. I forget what he did. He ran at the bar over there at the end, but then he ended up doing some other kind of business out here. He made money at.
This is what 2012 is about. It's all about, like, 2012 was the last one. Before
he made money. But then he retired because he wanted to divert it, because he talks about it in his, in there that it was taking up all of his time, you know, because he won't tell, he's trying to be very circumspect. He's like, certain researches that I was undertaking at the time began to consume more and more of my time until I had to sell the business. Hopefully one day these researches will be published to the world. I'm like, what the fuck were you researching, man? You don't say who this guy was.
Well, that's not me. I'm more like, I know who I'm after. I'm after these motherfuckers who took me down. And I have no problem with saying that. You know what I mean?
He wasn't even a trained scientist, but he wrote this like paper that became very popular. I don't know how famous it is, but I hear about it all the time.
Did it make him $1 million to get him out of trouble? Like $1 trillion and get him out of trouble?
No,
well, then forget about it. It wasn't that good.
He discovered he was like doing research on the migratory, because I can find his book for you.
I'm sure it's good.
If you go look on Amazon under Major Huber, he wrote this book about the magnetic effects of like magnetite in animal skulls that help them navigate across the world, like how they do.
Wow, that's interesting.
Well, that's what he was. That was the researches he was done. He had some kind of job, Laslo. It was like. He founded something, I forget what it was. He just walked away. It was just too much work and time was being like spent like researching certain matters that are of extreme importance. That's how he termed it. He's been real like sly.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And it was like in his 70s, and he finally published it. It's like on the migration of migratory birds and the magnetite in their skulls.
I've heard about that guy. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Major Hooper. Well, I've heard about it too, but I didn't.
It's very specific, you know. Well, it should be like, you know. Well, if that's happening with birds and their skulls, what else could there be? You know what I mean? I mean, if there is this, you know, thing that all these Masons are talking about, like the bigger and the smaller and all that crap, and everybody's fucking talking about it. Well, if that's really, really real,
well, see,
then, you know, why are we just talking about magnetite? You know?
Reading him, I just thought that it was. I thought this guy's. I said, I wonder whatever happened to this guy. Because I'm thinking, whatever happened to this guy? You see what I'm saying? Because he was talking about. Did he ever publish anything? And by God, there it was on Amazon, like in 1991, when he was like in his 80s. He like finally published this paper.
Yeah, I don't care if I do my book. I really don't, because what I'm thinking is, you know, by the time a book is necessary, if I'm fucking moving right, I don't need a fucking book. You know what I mean? So fuck the book. Let's move on to the next fucking, like, you know, 10 steps down the road. Fuck your bullshit, motherfucker. You know, so how do I do that? Well, I write a book. You know, but I don't write a book. I fucking, you know, I do what I do. You know, I get all the kids all freaking out and wanting to read it and, you know, joining a club that has access to the fucking access of the access. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know. You know what I know, and I'm getting to know, and it's getting better and shit.
Uber.